The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of KLAY or those who advertise their products or services on this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, cats and chicks, you're listening to Viva ENT. This is your host, Johnny the Capo. Our celebrity guest today is Garry Tallent, the bass player and founder of E Street Band. And the interview is going to be on the half hour. It was a great interview that I did with Garry about a year ago, and I'm happy to bring that back as Best of Viva ENT. And live with me today, ladies and gentlemen, is my friend, pal, and buddy, Mr. Jeff Mcinnis. I hope I pronounced that right, Jeff, did I?
You did.
Great. And Jeff is a bit of an entrepreneur, and he has his hands in this, that, and everything. And Jeff, why don't you tell our listeners about your newest project that you're going to do at the Temple Theater in Tacoma?
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny. It's a Christmas concert that we've been kind of working on, and we being me and my two sons, for the last few years. We've been talking about it, and we almost did it here 2-3 years ago, but we finally decided to pull the trigger this year on it. And so it's going to be at your great facility there, the Temple, and on the 28th of November. So it's a little weird to start thinking about Christmas music when it's 90 degrees out. But that's exactly what we found ourselves doing. And we got a great band that's known in the Christian world, Selah. They're the band that did some of the songs on the Passion of the Christ, and then has done a lot of Christmas music lately.
Wow.
And so we're going to bring them into the Temple on the 28th, and then they have an opening act as well. And it's going to be a fun event. We're really looking forward to putting it on. And like I say, it's been a few years in coming. And I'm using it kind of to get my sons introduced to business, as well as just doing something that's a lot of fun.
Cool. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. And as far as getting your sons involved, I had the pleasure to meet them, and they really look like sharp guys. They're bright, they're sharp. It's nice to see young men with some drive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, they're hardworking boys, and this has been, I think, showing them that hard work can also be fun, because it's a lot of fun to work with you, work with all the people in a new business area, and, bring a fun concert to the area.
Yeah, I learned that as a young man that people respect a good worker, So if you have a good work ethic, that's 100% of the battle almost.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Woody Allen said 90% of life is showing up. You can't show up if you're just sitting at home doing nothing.
You ain't kidding about that.
Yeah.
So you're expecting a good attendance at that. Of course, we're promoting it. You're promoting it, and I'd like to have you on the show here. At least twice a month. To let our listeners know. And you got some other advertising going on, probably with the Spirit, right? That radio station. Yeah.
Spirit 105.3 is going to start it. We'll have a few months here before we get really into it, but we're going to, promote it through the ticketing and promote it through you guys and some social media in the meantime, just to get there's quite a following for this band. So we'll get some people interested who know the band and who want to come and offer some early bird specials. But then, probably hit it real hard in September and start playing some radio spots and getting information out there about it. Your venue had a great concert. I'd say it's 4 years ago, which is a Newsboys, another local Christian concert that just was, off the charts fun. It was just a very exciting, fun event. And obviously, this is Christmas. It's a little bit different than that band, but we kind of hope to have the same idea, a real packed house. I mean, you guys hold 1,400 there, and it's a packed house, and some decorations, and just kind of a nice night. That's a Wednesday, November 28th, the week after Thanksgiving. So kick off the Christmas season, and just really get people kind of, in the Christmas spirit.
It sounds like it's going to be a blast for sure.
Yeah, I think so. The other thing, these vocalists, they'll bring their voices will bring tears to your eyes. They are so gorgeous. So, it's a Christian band, but I'd say anybody should come attend. You want to hear good Christmas music, right? Which we all hear at the Christmas season. Well, come on in.
Yeah, I bet you they got some really cool harmonies too.
Exactly.
Having the vocalists. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they've got a few great songs you hear on the radio. They've got the harmony that they bring to it it's pretty inspiring. Very
cool. So during our on-air conversation, I didn't realize that you're a member of the Saturn Barter Club with one of your businesses, and I'd like you to tell our listeners about your business, about some of the good experiences that you've had with Saturn Barter, because Saturn is one of my sponsors and has been since the very, very beginning of my talk radio show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm a bit of a business junkie. I started about 8 or 9 years ago. I started a stormwater services company called Catch-All Environmental, and then I brought a business partner in, so I have a 50-50 business partner in it, and he runs it day to day. And he got us into Saturn Barter probably 7 or 8 years ago, right at the beginning of the company.
Cool.
We do stormwater services for people, clean stormwater systems, and I'm a licensed engineer, so we kind of keep them humming like they're supposed to. And he got us into Saturn Barter right away, and it's been a great opportunity. We meet a lot of good people like yourself. We do a lot of work for some of the facility owners that are part of Saturn Barter. They have a really fun Christmas party every year. The auction that they have, the auction kind of sale that they have, we've just had a great experience with those guys. So, and I didn't know until our like you said, pre-on-air conversation that they that I think the Temple is a member. So it sounds like
they are. Landmark Convention Center Temple Theater is a member of Saturn Barter Club, no question about it.
Yeah. So anyway, no, that's been a great. It's been a great business connection. We meet a lot of people through it. It seems like a lot of kind of leading businessmen in the Tacoma-Pierce County area are members. So.
Yeah, and they have branched up north up into Seattle too. So they've got a ton of restaurants up in Seattle, and I'm based out of Shoreline, and of course I'm working as a sales director down at the Landmark Convention Center / Temple Theater, and so I'm north and south. So it's nice to have that opportunity to be able to eat in restaurants down in Tacoma, in Seattle, all over the place, and be able to use the Saturn account with plumbers, my dentist, everything. There's like 1,200 businesses in Saturn.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my wife and I are a bit addicted to the Pacific Grill.
Likewise.
Yeah, downtown Tacoma, and I blame Saturn Barter for that because for a while they were, one of the only really nice restaurants in Tacoma that took it, and so we started going there quite a bit. And now we've kind of found some other services to use to spend our Saturn Barter dollars, but we still end up going there, and now we're having to pay cash. So find ourselves going there a little less, but it's still an addiction that Saturn Barter started.
You had to pay cash at the Pacific Grill?
Well, just because our Saturn Barter dollars are taken somewhere else. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And they go quick, I tell you.
They do. We have some. Well, there's a couple of companies that do promotional material, brochures, graphic arts and stuff that we've started to use for some of our business promotions for Catch-All. And so.
So they've been getting your Saturn dollars.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to buy my own steak, unfortunately, but that's okay.
Well, I was just there just this last week, and I probably, without a doubt, eat there at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times a month. So I am, no question, I'm spoiled. Really spoiled.
You're addicted too. So.
I'm addicted. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Patty Graffy with the Pacific Grill Catering is an associate and friend of mine, and actually we just made a deal with Pacific Grill to let their catering company come into the Landmark Convention Center, which we don't do that with any catering company. So
just anyone. Huh.
Yeah, so they're coming aboard, and I'm happy to have them at the Landmark, and I'm looking forward to working with them for sure. Yeah. And then what we're going to do right now, Jeff, is we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors, and then I want to keep you on the show, keep you on till the half hour, if that's cool with you, pal.
That's great. You betcha.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. You're listening to my buddy Jeff Mcinnis, and I'm Johnny the Capo. We'll be right back right after our sponsors.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment, one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com. Life's a celebration. Grand Event Rentals makes your event their top priority. They are your full-service, special event, and party rental provider, supplying everything you need from start to finish. Their professional sales team and event staff work with you to create your dream event. With every event, Grand Event Rentals customers' needs are the most important. Whether you're planning an intimate outdoor wedding or an elaborate black tie gala, the Grand Event Rental specialists make great pride in providing our event planning experience to help create an unforgettable event. Please go and visit the Bellevue showroom, Grand Event Rentals, or make a one-on-one appointment. Talk to them. They're trained, they're knowledgeable, they're event specialists, and they are going to take you through step-by-step everything that you need to make your day a success. Call Grand Event Rentals. Their number's 425-462-7368, or go to grandeventrentalslaw.com.
Is your vehicle needing some attention? Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional. Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
Play Radio, Tacoma. Tacoma's radio station. Clay keeps you informed. 1180 AM.
Tacoma's radio station.
Train a ride, 16 coaches long. Train a ride,
16 coaches long. You're listening to The King, and that's Mystery Train, Elvis' first #1 record on a national chart. And it's funny that song, Mystery Train, went #1 on the country charts, because pretty much on the pop charts at that time, 1955, Elvis wasn't really charting on the pop charts. But that song went all the way to #1 nationally on the country charts, just for you trivia nuts out there. You're listening to Viva ENT. We got Garry Tallent with the East Street Band on at the half hour. My live guest today is Jeff Mcinnis, concert promoter, entrepreneur, and a gentleman that wears many hats. And what are your favorite bands, Jeff? Other than the Christian bands?
Yeah, so, well, let's see. Probably one of my favorites right now, I listen to a lot of Eric Clapton.
Cool.
Yeah, I like, well, I have to say there's a band called Jars of Clay. That is a Christian band, but boy, they're just outstanding to listen to.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they played here, 3 years ago, something like that, here in Tacoma.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of them.
Yeah. I love the Beatles music. I play guitar, so I'm playing some Beatles music right now, trying to learn it. I'm not a phenomenal guitar player like I suspect you are, Johnny, but I do enjoy it, and I plague my family with it most every night. So.
Well, that's good to plague your family with it every night, because pretty soon they'll catch on to the plague.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and several of them have. I'm a guitar junkie, so I buy too many guitars and then I give them to the kids, and I know at least two of them are. My youngest son, Hugh, who you've met, he's really taken it up. He's going to church camp this week, and he's going to lead worship for that group. And then my older son's got a nylon string that I gave him, and he's taken it up as well. So,
well, speaking of my guitar playing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce that my band, Johnny and the Bad Boys, will be appearing at the Hub in Tacoma on August the 3rd in the Beer Garden. And if you don't know where the Hub is in Tacoma, the address is 203 Tacoma Avenue South. We're going to start at 7 o'clock and go to midnight. There'll be DJ with classic rock and roll provided by yours truly, Johnny the Capo. So I want to invite all my friends, all my listeners to come down and have some pizza beer. They really have great food there at the Hub, and they have a new general manager there, and I've noticed that since he's been there, the food is it's always been good, but it really seems to be exceptional now. So I know you can't come, Jeff, because you have your daughter's getting married, but
that's right.
Maybe next time I'll let you know. I'm going to.
Keep me posted, because I'd love to come see you somewhere.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but that night will be a rehearsal dinner I'm looking forward to. So
cool, yeah. Very cool. Yeah, you got a big event coming up soon, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And then another one in February right after that. I've got 3 daughters. 2 of my 2 oldest are getting married. So one in 2 weeks from today, and then one in February. So.
Yikes.
That's right. So, yeah, so favorite bands. I mean, I don't like, I think I pretty much like every type of music. I love classical. I like rock. I like classic rock. One of my favorite songs is "Dream On" by Aerosmith.
Oh yeah, when he goes into that high note, I seen him in Vegas sing "Dream On," and he was an exceptional voice, and he was right on the money that night. And when he went into that high note and "Dream On," he hit it better than I ever even heard on record. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Crazy. Wine glasses shattering in the audience and stuff.
Yeah, and he's really not only is he a great singer. As a matter of fact, Steven Tyler is probably in my top 5 singers. Like, for instance, my top 3 or top 4 or 5 is, of course, Elvis. I love Robert Plant. And Steven Tyler is probably in my top 3, no question. I always love talking about him, his voice, and Aerosmith. They're a great band.
Yeah, they are. But since you mentioned Robert Plant, I just have to say that guy's voice, it'll almost get you drunk just listen to it. It's so good, you know. And there's others like that, you know. There's others that's like Sting's voice. Oh man, it's just such. And Sting's another great artist, you know.
He's another great artist with a unique style and a unique sound, which really, you know, made his place, you know, in music for sure.
Yeah.
Robert Plant did an album with the Honey Drippers back in the 80s, I think it was, or maybe the 90s. And it was some covers of some of the songs that, you know, he used to sing pre-Led Zeppelin. There was Good Rockin' Tonight. They called it, I think they called it Rockin' After Midnight, and he did a version of Sea of Love.
Yeah,
right.
Sea of Love on that album. Yeah, that was a good song.
And that's when I first noticed that, you know, his real versatility as far as being able to sing just about anything.
Yeah, no, it's fun. There's a lot of good music back then. You know, I always tell my kids too. There's a lot of good music coming out right now. You know, there's you know, the last probably 10 years, there've been a lot of artists that my kids have brought home, and I go, man, these guys are good. So it's fun to listen to some of that too. So.
Absolutely, I listen to you know because I'm a professional DJ as well as the many hats that I wear. You know, I have to stay up with the top music that's on the charts now. So it's there's a lot of good music out there, and I guess the only thing that I really don't I'm not crazy about is the slow rap hip hop. It just hasn't lit my fire yet.
Yeah, and this isn't a derogatory statement, but I don't consider it music. I consider it an art form, and I respect it. But music to me has to have kind of a melody and a harmony and stuff. So I can see where people like it, and I can see that it's definitely an art form. But I have to agree with you. I don't get into it. I know, you know, my sons do, and that's fun. And they'll show me some stuff. Like, Dad, you're going to love this. This is great. And sometimes I do. But for the most part, I think, you know, I can respect this. I can understand what they're getting at, the points they're getting across. But it's not what I call music, you know. So anyway.
Yeah, it's probably the generation gap. It's probably our age. Who knows, you know? But nevertheless, it's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Viva ENT. I want everybody to stay tuned because I got a fantastic, fabulous, groovy, whatever you want to call it, interview with Garry Tallent, the original bass player for the E Street Band, Bruce Springsteen's band. He also is considered one of the founding members of the E Street Band. I think he had the band together before Bruce decided to take him on as his band. So that's an exciting thing. And we got a great interview coming up. We have the concert at the Temple Theater coming up with, say the name of the band again. Is it Selah?
Selah, yeah, Selah. And they'll be there November 28th, which is a Wednesday night, start at 7 o'clock, and we're really looking forward to it.
Selah, is it Selah or Selah?
They're pronounced Selah.
Selah.
Yeah, it's Selah. It's a word that effectively means pause, and you see it throughout the Scripture, particularly Psalms. But they used that. So. Okay,
yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be part of that concert, and I'm excited about it. We're going to promote it. We're going to get some tickets sold, and we're going to do many more.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you've been great. It's been fun.
Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's get you on, let's get you on once a month or every other week, even if it's only for, 10 minutes to at least promote your concert, because I want to make sure that this concert is a smash.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No
We want to hear
problem. And I want to tell our listeners, August the 3rd, in the Beer Garden, Johnny and the Bad Boys, classic rock and roll the way you love it. So, thank you, Jeff, for being on the show. We'll dig you now and see you later, ladies and gentlemen, but stay tuned. Don't go away. Don't go away, because I have Garry Tallent from the E Street Band coming on right now. Thank you so much, and thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's all right now, Mama, any way you do. Well, Mama, she done told me, Papa done told me too. Son, that gal you fooling, well, she ain't no good for you. That's all right. That's all right.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment, one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com.
Radio, Tacoma's radio station. Clay keeps you informed. 1180 AM.
Tacoma's radio station.
I came in a little later last night. First thing you know, we're in a hell of a fight. You gave me a whack upside my head. Should have stayed out with the boys instead. I said, come on, baby, don't treat me this way. I know you really love me no matter what you say. Charlene, 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 come on, baby, don't cause a scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. We're live on the air in Seattle. This is your host, Johnny the Capo. We're live with my producer, Mr.
Hey, it's Eric C.C. Ryder.
We have Jerry Osborne, our talent coordinator, on the line with our special guest artist today. Jerry, please introduce our gentleman.
He is the one whose song you just heard to open the show with.
Cool.
And that tune, Charlene, was just recently voted by the general public on Little Steven's Underground Garage internet show as one of the 10 coolest songs of 2016. Now, that's pretty complimentary, Gary, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I got a kick out of that. It's made the top 10.
It did, and was there an inspiration behind Charlene, such as maybe somebody you knew?
Well, it was actually written, an ex-girlfriend kind of said, well, why don't you ever write any songs about me? And I came up with that. That's why she's my ex-girlfriend.
Well, she may have wanted to know about the song that was out in 1961 by the T-Birds called Charlena.
Oh,
do you know that one?
True. I do know that one, and
I'm not surprised.
It's kind of hard to find a girl's name that hasn't been used, but yeah. Well, Charlene, if you remember the Andy Griffith show, they had a bluegrass band on there, the family band, and now I forget their names. But anyway, Charlene was the girl in the family. That was our inspiration for the name.
Well, it's certainly a great record, and it's on your album, Break Time, one of many great songs on there. And we're going to talk about that here in a moment. But let's just get to what probably most people associate you with, and that is being a founding member with Bruce Springsteen of the E Street Band way back in 1971 or 72. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. 71.
Now, that's a few years before he really started charting regularly with records. So what were you guys doing in the meantime?
Playing clubs and starving.
Yeah.
And listening to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, you're a record collector yourself, and a big-time record collector, and I know that you were fascinated with a lot of the rockabilly music in the 50s, and especially Buddy Holly and the Johnny Burnett Trio and Elvis, of course, and maybe a lot of other records that were recorded at Sun Records because they were kind of the heart and soul of that music. And so tell us how that affected you as a young person in the 50s and early 60s.
Well, I'm not really sure what drew me to that, to the music. I guess I just I was a kid. I had an older brother, and he would bring home records from dances and stuff, and I would just kind of listen to them. But for some reason, I was just attracted to. Well, I loved it all. I really did. I loved the R&B. I loved the vocal groups. But what really stood out to me was all the New Orleans, a lot of the specialty records, and the New Orleans, and I know they're California label, but and the Zydeco and all that swamp music, even Jimmy Clanton. I just thought, Jimmy Clanton had this great thing in his voice. He did. That a lot of the Delta people had. And I just always was attracted to that, and of course. Buddy Holly had the hiccup, and and Eddie Cochran had the Amos and Andy, little thing. Everybody had their own little quirks.
Yeah.
They were all so individual and such great singers. I just fell in love with all of it.
You're really right about Jimmy Clanton. You don't hear a lot about him much, but he definitely had a unique voice, and his voice was very, very, very cool.
Yeah, something about the water down there. Same with Frankie Ford. That it's hard to explain exactly, but it just came out of the Delta, out of the that area, and it's just something that I've always loved.
Yeah.
Well, I think the name Jack Vincent is one thread that is common in all of these people you're talking about.
Well, Johnny Vincent was, I got to know, or I got to meet Johnny Vincent back in the 70s when I was out in Jackson, Mississippi, looking for records.
Of course.
He was quite a character. I don't know, is he still with us? Probably not.
I'm not sure, but I think not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably only in his 40s or so when I met him. I mean, he wasn't, but of course, I was in my 20s. I thought anybody, in the 30s, he was all over,
Well, last week, our guest on this very show was Gretchen Christopher, the founder and lead singer and pretty much the one behind the Fleetwoods. And I was intrigued when I listened to an interview that you were doing, and you and I talked about this just about an hour ago, and in that interview, you mentioned something about you really like the Fleetwoods, and I thought it was so interesting because we just had her on last week.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I've just always loved the Fleetwoods, and and sometimes you have guilty pleasures, and I would say, people go through my collection. I have every Fleetwood record ever made.
No kidding.
And people would say the Fleetwoods, and I go, hey, it's a guilty pleasure. But more and more people are going, oh, there's no guilt involved there. That's just great stuff.
Well, it certainly is. And have you ever met Gretchen or talked to her?
I have not.
I'd like to arrange a telephone conversation between the two of you.
Well, that would be really cool.
She would love to know that you appreciated her music like that. That's fantastic.
Well, that's funny. I mean, well, I guess they're from Washington State, are they not?
Yeah, she lives in Olympia, still does, a very, very good friend of mine. And now that you're a friend of mine, we need to all get together and talk. But she will be thrilled to know that you said what you did, because that's not something she hears every day.
Yeah, I agree.
That shocks me because, I mean, they had hit after hit after hit, and they were always to the soft side. But I just thought that was, well, even. I've always been attracted to. I love the shouters. I love them all. That's the bottom line. But I love the voice where nobody's really trying to. It's just like it's easy. It's like syrupy. It's like silk. It just comes out. It just pours out effortlessly, and I was always attracted to that part of it too.
Yeah, they actually did have a very, very unique harmony sound, and
indeed,
and probably, if you think about it, they probably, and I'm sure they didn't think about it, but they were probably a little bit ahead of their time as far as harmonies go.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I would think. What say you, Jerry?
Well, I think that's a good possibility. I can't just say categorically that that's the case, but it could be. I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it, quite frankly.
The fact of the matter is, when that song came out, which I believe was 57, correct, Jerry?
58.
58. 58, 59-ish.
59 was their big year. They had Come Softly to Me and Mr. Blue were both number one in 59.
Correct, exactly. Mm-hmm. So
I think Tragedy was the first thing that I had heard.
And that would have been in 61, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
61 or 2, yeah. It was after Thomas Wayne had the big hit of Tragedy.
Ah.
Right. Yeah, maybe it was that version that I heard. I don't, I listened to it all.
So basically, there wasn't really a whole lot of harmony going on in 59, with all the other pop artists that were out that year.
Not that kind of harmony.
Exactly.
There was plenty of group harmony.
Right.
But it was just a lot more raw.
Correct.
And they had that sweet and innocent sound, including Gary Troxell, the lead. He sang the melodies. I don't really call him the lead singer. It really was an ensemble thing.
Now, Gretchen doesn't either. Right, John?
Oh, shit.
But she explained how important it was when they found him to sort of tie the whole thing together, because just she and Barbara alone didn't really create the sound that they envisioned. So Gary made, he was the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Just a combination of all the, whatever was going on there was just a very great, a great sound. And plus the cool songs. They had great songs. I believe even Randy Newman was one of the writers on a couple of the B-sides. So they really drew from some talented, unknown at the time writers.
So how did somebody born in Detroit end up meeting Bruce Springsteen?
Well, I was born in Detroit, but I moved to New Jersey in my teens, and I guess he was already there. So I had moved around quite a lot, and that's just kind of where I landed.
Were you playing the tuba when he first discovered you?
Well, I was still playing the tuba, yes. But I'd kind of, as far as the rock and roll bands, they tended to like the electric bass better than the tuba.
Yeah. See, that's a side of you a lot of people don't know.
The tuba part?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that a lot of people didn't know what a bass guitar did when we were kids. Most bands didn't have a bass, didn't didn't have any idea what it was supposed to do. So when the Beatles came over and all the English bands, and they all had bass players.
Right.
So everybody decided they had to have a bass player, and you know, being a tuba player, I kind of already knew inherently what that role was. So
yeah, hammering those bass notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get recruited to be part of this newly formed band?
Oh, back then?
Yeah.
Well, we were all just kids, and we all wound up in this one club in Asbury Park. It was called the Upstage, and whenever we weren't playing, you know, out and about, we would all gather at this place where you just showed up, and instruments were already there, and the amplifiers were already there, and you know, that audience was already there. And it was a teen club, sort of. It was a coffee house, and they just allowed you to play anything you wanted to. You didn't have to play even a song. You just get up there and jam on a blues progression for an hour at a time, and people dug it. And so that was just a great education.
Wow.
Yeah, open mic.
Yeah, a constant open mic, exactly.
You know, I know Bruce Springsteen's influences were. I know he loved Roy Orbison, and I know he really liked Elvis too. But you don't really hear a lot of Roy and Elvis in his singing style. What do you think was his other icons or idols that he was really into? Because
well, I mean, there are several, and probably mostly from the English invasion. You know, Eric Burdon, of course.
I would say, yeah. Now that you say,
Paul Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
What was who was the lead singer with Manfred Mann? Was that Paul Rogers?
I don't think so.
Anyway, yeah, it's a shame that I don't remember his name.
Paul Rogers, I think his first big hit was "All Right Now" when he was with Free.
With Free, okay.
Yeah. All right now.
Someone will have to Google.
You might be thinking of Paul Jones or Mike Diabo.
Diabo.
Paul Jones is the voice I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Paul Jones.
And I think I hear a lot of that. But, you know, also Dion, you know, had a big influence on Bruce's singing.
Yeah,
you know, we all stole from everywhere.
Right,
you know?
exactly. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it should be. And you're right. You're absolutely right. All artists grab a little bit of this and a little bit of that from everybody. For instance, Michael Jackson, Jackie Wilson, James Brown. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, and James Brown listened to Little Willie John.
That's correct.
A lot of him in James's work. Yeah. Well, and the fact is, you try to sound exactly like them, but you don't. You can't. So no matter how hard you try, you're going to wind up sounding like yourself.
You know,
and once you realize that, then you have to just go with it.
You know, in the Sun record, Blue Moon of Kentucky, I think Elvis was trying to do his doggonest and hardest to sound a little bit like Bill Monroe, in a way, because he had that real high pitch, and he ended up coming up with his own sound.
You know, we've never been fortunate enough to have Bruce on the show in person, but Eric has, I think, queued up and ready a little audio clip that we have of Bruce talking about you favorably, of course, and then you talking about him favorably, of course. Eric, would you play that little 60-minute clip?
You got. Hopefully it's not 60 minutes because we've only got 10 minutes left in the show.
60 seconds.
Sure, here we go.
I love it.
Garry, bass player, just instinctive, plays his own way, sounds like himself. One of the great gentlemen in the E Street Band, always calm, collected, incredibly steady, just a lovely man, you know.
It doesn't have to be natural. It's something that you can learn, and we've learned it. We've learned to know each other. We've just gotten to know each other so well that I can watch him and pretty much figure out where he's heading. Not always, and but it's just one of those things that's we have that ability just from all the shows we've done together. And it would be a shame to stop doing it at this point.
Nice.
Yep, it would be a shame, right? After all these years.
You and he are still the only, I shouldn't say you and he are the only founding members now, right?
Unfortunately, that's true. Very sad that we've lost a couple of our key players. But you have to remember that Steve Van Zandt was, even though he wasn't in the band the whole time, he was really one of the guys in the hood. And Steven and I played together probably more than Bruce in the early days. So yeah, Steven was definitely a force in the band early on.
And Niles?
Well, Nils joined. He joined in at the height of the Born in the USA phenomenon,
like 75.
So yeah, we call him the new guy, but he's been with us 25 years. So I guess he's not the new guy anymore.
No, he's ready for the gold watch.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to ask you about Stay Away. I have the record. It comes with a beautiful picture sleeve on DeVille Records, I might add, out of Nashville. And when I played it for the first time, immediately I started thinking of My Baby Left Me and Scotty Moore and Elvis, 1956. Is there any connection, I mean, as far as you're concerned, or is this just coincidental?
It's a total ripoff.
Okay. Well, I loved it, and I've always loved that about My Baby Left Me. In fact, it was my favorite side of the record when it came out. But what an outstanding record, and Stay Away is terrific too. With we should say Miss Christy Rose. We got to give her credit too.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal. And she'll be touring with us and doing some solo spots when we get on the road. She's a terrific singer and a terrific gal.
Johnny, you're going to love the way Stay Away starts. Eric, you want to go ahead and play that?
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I love My Baby Left Me.
Well, you're going to love this.
All right, here we go.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, boy.
Well, stay away from me, girl. Stay the hell away. The cost of your love is too high priced. I don't want to pay. You've taken everything I own with my sanity. Go find yourself another fool. Stay away from me. Stay the hell away. 'Cause if we got back together, I know what I'll hear. I missed you, sweet doll, sweetly in my ear. And if we start loving, I know what I'll find. You're back in my heart, and I'm out of my mind. You're back in my heart, and I'm out of my mind.
Cool.
Stay away from me, man. Stay the hell away. Because your love is too high priced, and
A lot of cool changes in that.
Very cool tune. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, outstanding.
Yeah.
Who's the female singer?
The inspiration for that, I have to admit, was besides ripping off My Baby Left Me, which I think I didn't hear it in the beginning there, but yeah, we were just looking for a way to start it, and so we said, well, do that thing they did on My Baby Left Me, and it worked, and there you go. But the influence for the song was really Wanda Jackson. I Gotta Know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember that song, but I just loved how it would go from the country thing to the rockabilly bop, and then back into the country waltz. I just thought it was cool, so I borrowed that too.
Yeah, cool. No,
well, and coincidentally, we had Wanda Jackson on our show about a month ago, and we had Paul Evans on the show who wrote I Gotta Know. So there's all kinds of tie-ins here.
You guys just have everybody on.
Well, we got you now, so we feel like we've pretty much done everything we needed to do.
Yeah,
6 degrees, right?
We're dedicated to keeping rock and roll legends alive.
All right,
here in Seattle, man.
Sign me up.
You're signed up and you're on.
I would say there's a good chance you met Wanda Jackson since you've been in Nashville.
I did get to meet her once, and she's a delightful person.
Yes.
I probably glommed all over her because I'm such a big fan. You know, I get a little tongue-tied when I meet my idols like that.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Wanda was, one of the original great rockabilly artists, and she's still going, just like you, man.
Yeah, no, I heard her just recently, and she's still great.
Yeah,
she's still great. And I love the album that she did with Jack White.
Yes,
a couple years ago.
The guitar playing on that album was out of sight.
Yeah,
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was a real great hybrid of even though it was true to her, a very very modern production. Yeah, great album.
Loved it.
Great album. Anybody that hasn't heard that needs to run out and get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm down to 2.5 minutes. Please tell our listeners, Garry, about everything that's going on with you. Website, Facebook, new releases. Take it on.
Well, I'm getting ready to head for Australia for about a month with the E Street Band.
Cool.
And looking forward to that and have a little summer down under. But then when I get back, we're going to take break time on the road, and the original band that played on the record will be traveling with me.
Very cool.
And we're going to hit some clubs. Probably won't get out west, but we'll go from Nashville up toward Detroit and then back over to New York and probably do a couple shows in Asbury Park just for old time's sake. And then after that's over, we're going to head to England and do a few weeks over there, which I'm very excited about.
Well, that's
So the record is out. It's been out almost a year now. But I've kind of been busy with other things, so now it's time to get to maybe playing some break time music live.
Cool.
Hopefully, if anybody is curious to hear it, I believe Amazon has some more. We kind of sold out a couple times because I never expected it to be as popular as it turned out to be.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Garry Tallent on Viva ENT. Garry, say goodbye to our listeners. And
all right. Well, good night, everybody. Happy New Year. And thanks for having me on.
Thanks.
Oh, it was great. It was great, Garry. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, Garry. Thank you. And Jerry, who's coming on?
Next week we have Beverly Breemers of Don't Say You Don't Remember fame in 1971.
Oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding.
And then the week after that, Nino Tempo.
Nino Tempo, my pal and buddy.
Yeah.
He went out with Cher before Sunny. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. Thanks to Garry Tallent, Dave Lou, Jerry Osborne, Eric C.C. Ryder. This is Johnny the Capo. We're digging out. See you later, because you are a fine sweet potato. Thank you so much.
Go find yourself another fool. Stay away from me. Stay the hell.